Hey leaders, don't mind me. I'm about to be painting my walls and just been buried in home stuff lately. And so I was saying a prayer because I kind of felt like I didn't know where to start. And so my first way of getting myself back on track is getting on my knees and saying a prayer and asking for some guidance. And um, I was very strongly prompted that I'm on the right path, that I need to be focused on this office as far as painting. But then as soon as I got done with my prayer, I got up and I found this. Many of you that have been leaders in our organization for a while have seen this, have used this. I hope you've used this. And I will be honest, because I always am with you guys, because I'm not helping anybody without being honest, is that sometimes I forget to use this myself. When somebody comes to me, oh man, my hair is like, yes, I'm a hot mess today. That's okay. Anyways, when I have somebody come to me and they just don't really know where they're lacking, and myself included, we're all susceptible to kind of losing our direction, not knowing really where to go. But this right here, which don't worry, I'm gonna upload it, is how we can kind of find what's going on with our downline of as far as what are they lacking? Are they lacking, are they struggling with confusion? Are they struggling with anxiety, gradual change, which is basically what is going to happen, and that's where they're struggling, is or frustration or false start. Okay, so this chart right here is basically a chart to kind of see where they are. The top one is where we want everybody to be at, is that equals change. When they have a vision of where they want to be, they have the skills that they need in order to get there. They have some type of an incentive, which means they are inspired. They have something that's driving them to achieve these goals. They have the resources to help them with all of this, to create the vision, to build skills, and find what that incentive is, that why, I would say. And then they know what action plan they have, what actions do they have to do in order to get there. That's going to create change, which changes how we create results, right? They say the definition of an insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So in order to achieve a goal, we can't be doing the same thing. We have to change. We have to be growing. We have to be doing different actions all the time. Now, the one that will create confusion in your downline or ourselves, is when we don't have a vision. There are some leaders in this group that you guys are going to go, oh my gosh, that's so me. Or I've been there. I don't have a vision. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know what I want from this. That is going to create confusion. You may have the skills to do your business. You have the reason, the why, that, okay, I want to, contribute to my family. You have the resources, and then you have an action plan, but the vision of it happening and you putting yourself in that position of receiving that bigger goal, which whatever it is that's your why, is why you're not achieving it. It's because you can't see yourself there. We have to be able to see ourselves, put ourselves in that place of being in the receiving end of that goal. For example, if you want to purchase, if your goal, your incentive, your why is to buy a new car, we have to visualize ourselves in the driver's seat, feeling what the steering wheel will feel like, the smell of the car, the feel of being in the driver's seat, maybe switching gears, maybe the smooth ride, maybe you have wind in your hair, whatever that may be, the sound of your family's voices, whatever it is, that vision has to be clear, guys. Hey, Melissa, yay! Melissa has some awesome things happening in her business. So when anxiety is created is when we're lacking the skills. So you may have that vision. Let's just use the car as the example. You may have that vision of being in the car. Oh my gosh, I love it. You know, maybe you want to get a big minivan. Maybe you want to have a sports car, whatever it is. But the vision of why you want that car, what it's going to do for your life, how it's going to make you feel, whatever that may be. Again, we're just using an object for just a simple example, meaning to purchase a car. You may have the why, if I want this car because it'll fit all my family comfortably, we can travel, or I've always wanted a sports car, whatever that is. You define what that car is when you're visualizing it. Resources, you may have the resources as far as, you know where to go in the workstation, you know what YouTube people that inspire you, you know what needs to happen. And then you also have an action plan because you know what needs to happen. You know that you need to sell $2,000 to get your 5% bonus. You know that you have to be recruiting 1 to 2 people a month in order to be growing your organization. But you feel, or you may be lacking the skill. And so that's going to create anxiety. Like, oh my gosh, I feel it. I want it. I know what I need to do, but I don't feel like I know how to do it. So not feeling like you have the skill is going to create anxiety. Now, let's just, for an example, because this just came to my mind, how can we create skill? Practice. Melissa and I just had a really long not really long, but a long conversation about how important it is for us to be intentional, to think it out. What are these scenarios that might happen? How can I respond to that? And go out and do it. And then the more you do it, you're going to create a skill of, oh, okay, when I do this, this happens. When this person says this, these are the things I can do to respond. And this is how I'm going to be able to overcome that rebuttal, that rejection, whatever that may be. But skills are created from action and doing it over and over and over and over. For instance, I shared with her that I had little note cards on my lunch party to make sure I covered everything because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to forget. But after jumping into my first party that got booked from that launch party, 2 days later, of course I was scared. Of course I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I bring those note cards? Yes. But did I have to use every single one of them that second time? No, because I already did it. I still used them, but then I booked another party days later so that I had 3 parties under my belt, and it just got, it was repetition, and I knew what people were going to be asking me because I paid attention to the similar questions that people were asking and hesitations and maybe things they didn't like about Scentsy, and I was able to go back, study, oh, this is what their concerns were. Then I was able to come back with skill from my FAQ saying, oh, this is what your concern was, getting back on the phone and saying, this is what it really is about, educating them. And then when that same question or concern came about at the next party, I was able to go, bam, you know what, great question, great concern, this is the facts. So it's just by doing it over and over and gaining that skill by repetition, by getting out and doing it. If we're only doing it one time here and there, doing your launch party and then not doing a party again for 6 months, there's no way to build skill, right? So that's going to build anxiety. When you have all this you have your vision, you have your why you want to do it, your resources of where to go to, find the things that we need to build the skill, and then the action plan of I need to do this, this, and this, and this. But when you feel that you don't have the skill yet, that's what creates anxiety. But when we recognize that I don't have the skill yet, but if I go out and do it, I will eventually develop the skill. So did I have the skills that I have today that I did in my launch party or even 3 years ago or even a year ago? No, because I didn't have the experience yet. So I had to keep going. And I love it because Melissa's always on here, and I have a great example with her is that I told her how there are so many times in my business, definitely more than successful stories, that when I fell flat on my face and it hurt. Not physically, but it hurt emotionally. And if I would have let that beat me up and keep me down, instead of saying, okay, How could I have done this differently? How could I have avoided this result to happen if it is even avoidable? And then even accepting this is avoidable, or this is unavoidable. This is going to happen. How can I get through that without it beating me up emotionally? Now, the next one is lack of the incentive. So you have your vision, you have your skills, but nothing's inspiring you, nothing's driving you to get the vision. So here's the thing, guys. We all have a vision in life since we were little kids of what we want out of life and where we want to go. It's changed along the way, but we've all had a vision at some point in our life. But if we don't have anything that drives us to go out and get it, we'll never get it, right? We'll never receive it. So you may dream your whole life to be on stage, teaching the world, or having a yacht, or being the president of the United States, whatever it may be, ladies, gentlemen, all of you. If you don't have something that's driving you to make you want it that bad, to go out and get that and create that, to make that vision become a reality, that's what creates gradual change. Okay, so all of this, resources, action, you're going to have change. You're going to be getting results because you do have the vision. You do have the skill to go out and do it. You do have the resources of the things you need to do. You have your business materials. You have your resources as far as training. You have your action plan of how to go do it. But if you don't have a why of why am I going to go make that why am I going to make that become a reality, you're going to get results, but you're going to get gradual results very slowly. What gives you big drastic change and big drastic results is when you have all of these put together and you are constantly growing on a personal level. You are gangbusters, big vision, lots of skills that you're creating from getting out there and doing it and falling on your face and getting back up and learning from it. Incentives, resources, and action. If we're lacking that incentive, that why, it's gonna happen. So if any of these, if we don't have the top line, if we're lacking incentive, as long as we have a vision, we have the skills, the resources, and the action plan, you're gonna see results, just not as fast as you would like, if that makes sense. Now, let's take resources out of this. That's gonna create frustration. Now, resources can be the resources in our workstation. We have them, guys. If you're not using them, then you're going to be frustrated, right? We have YouTube channels of plenty of successful people out there with all the do's and don'ts and advice and ideas and above, beyond. You have an upline. Even if your sponsor sucks, even if your director sucks, if you think I suck, there's always somebody that you can go above, right? And reach out to them. So never let your resources limit you, because there's always resources somewhere else. And so when you feel you're stuck and you feel like you have your vision, you have your skills on your personal level, you have a strong why, and you feel like you know what needs to happen, but your resources aren't there to help you use your skills. It's in this business where we are in 2019. Yes, Melissa, I'm going to post this. Absolutely. I think it's even in the files already. I just will post it again. It's just pushed down so far. It's been a couple years since I posted it. So yes, absolutely. I'm going to post it again. You're going to be frustrated. But the thing is I can say this now, is that we do have so much resources. It's just a matter of, am I utilizing them? Because I will say 8 years in, superstar director, I've achieved. So I've promoted directors. I've done everything above the sun in the business. But if I am not using the resources that's available to me, I myself will be frustrated. Same thing, guys. And I can tell you, when I'm not using my resources, I get frustrated. I feel like I'm not going anywhere. So it doesn't matter how much you've accomplished if we're still not utilizing these very resourceful strategies that, just so you know, guys, this is what psychologists use to help people where they're struggling. Okay, so this is all, but it also can 100% be applied to your business, because hello, we're in the business of people, and we are our only obstacle. We're our only obstacle. We have a slam dunk business plan and compensation plan, and the perfect product, consumable product. We have an amazingly slam dunk product, resource, and business opportunity. The only time it doesn't work is when something here isn't happening, okay? Now, the last one is you're lacking the action plan. So this is gonna create a false start. You may have the vision of where you wanna be. You may have the skills to actually get there. The incentive, what your why is, you may know exactly why you wanna get there, and you have the resources, but you don't know how to use them. That's gonna create a false start, meaning you are going to be sitting around waiting for you to figure out how to apply these resources, your skills, to make the vision happen and make your why become a reality. And you're not going to get off to the best start. You're going to be wasting time in your business. Now, you might find this with your team members. They didn't get off to a sensational start. And here's the thing, we need to be focusing on this area right here, because if they don't have an action plan, they're not going to earn their shooting star goal or their 70-day goal, because they're getting a false start because they have no action plan to go. But with that being said, now Scentsy has a first things first checklist of what they need to be doing in order to get off to a sensational start. So this area should not ever be blank if we're making sure they understand the first things first checklist is why it needs to be utilized. And now they even have an email from the home office that breaks them down where they need to go with videos, which we've never had before. So I guess this what I'm trying to say is, ladies, gentlemen, angels, my friends, that whenever a team member is getting on board, the onboarding process, pull this out and make this your checklist. Finding out what they have. What skills do they already have? Are they organized? Are they have they already been in sales before? Are they empathetic? Are they good listeners? Do they know a lot of people? Do they all the skills that we need in the business? Ask them where they believe they have skills, because that's where you want to start with them utilizing them, because they already believe they have them. They may have skills that they don't even know they have and that they're not utilizing. But we need to make sure that we find some skills that they already have. That's going to build their confidence that they can actually dive in and start using that action plan that we already have from Scentsy. Now, vision, we have to find out what their why is. Why did you join Scentsy? What is your why do you want to earn extra income? What does that extra income mean to you? What does it mean? Because extra income to me is another $3,000, but an extra income to somebody else might be $50 a month, $500 a month. You don't know what that means to them. So once we create and we understand what that means for them, what their why is, then we can create a vision. Okay, let's visualize you. Let's put you in that position. You are earning $500 a month. What is that going to do for you? Where are you going to go? What are you going to use it for? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to finally purchase an extra car. We only have one car right now. Me being able to have the ability to, take my kids to soccer practice, because right now my friend has to take them because we only have one vehicle. How's that going to free up your life? They're going to start visualizing that. Have them write down what that vision is, because then it's creating an emotional experience that's going to make them want to actually utilize the resources that Scentsy has and break down that action plan that's already created for them and start implementing it. Okay, so I'm going to be uploading this again, and so my biggest suggestion and encouragement that you guys have Granddaughter on the way, Cindy, congratulations, yay. Okay, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. As much as I don't want my children to grow up, I want them to be young and stay the life to slow down. I pray every day that one day I'm still going to be around to have grandchildren, to see my grandchildren. That's so exciting. Anyway, so yes, if you want to break this down more, if you had more questions, if you want to talk about how can you make this a part of your onboarding process, so you feel comfortable with it with your new team members, set up time with me. You know, I'm always here for you guys. And one thing I want to say to you guys, you don't have to set up time with me to text me or call me for something quick. That is just so my time is zeroed in on you. I won't have to be running off to an appointment or, you know, cutting you off. So never hesitate to still contact me if you have, like Melissa called me, she had this great plan. She's getting out there to put some business and get into some businesses. You know, she texted me and then I had a couple questions for her, what she was asking. So we talked, I called her and I had the time. So of course I'm going to connect with her. So never think because I say set up time with me means that's the only way you can talk to me. It's just so if I want to be, that call is for you. My time is with you. But if it's something that you're like, I just need this answer, or I just want to kind of run this by you really fast. If I have the time, I'm going to text you back or I'm going to call you back. If I don't, it's just because I don't have the time and I don't have the time to give to you, but I will still respond. I promise you that. So never hesitate, never think you're bothering me, never think you're, wasting my time or anything, because my success is your success, guys. And, but most importantly is my why is your success. Not because it's going to make me successful. It's because it's going to fill my cup and it's going to create my purpose of why I do this, is to see you succeed in any way that you define as being successful and achieving your goals. Okay, if nobody said that they love you today, I love you and I always will. And I have to start painting these walls. Love you guys. Bye.